Revisions with clients are so frustrating. You put in the work and you create something that you're proud of, only to get an email from a client with a list of things they need changed. What if I told you this doesn't have to be the case? How can we avoid revisions entirely? In this video, I'm breaking down the system I use to make sure the client is happy with the project every single time. And all we have to do is put in a little bit more time in the pre-production stage in order to save ourselves from the headaches of revisions. If this is your first time here, I'm Chris Pieta. I teach product photography and creative business. Revisions. We've all dealt with clients that need the photos tweaked and the video edits changed. There's an easy way to avoid this. This video is breaking down the 5 steps I take in order to avoid revisions. This ensures the client is happy right from when they sign the contract to when they receive the final photos. You don't need any special skills for this, and it will save you a lot of time in the long run. Let's get into it. First off, you need to charge a lot. Pricing is a weird thing. You need to charge a lot because if you don't, the client won't think of you as an expert. You do have to be good to justify your costs. But if you are a good photographer and you don't charge enough, then this will be a red flag in the client's mind. They're going to think that you don't know what you're doing. This is a weird psychological thing that happens. The client will think that they need to hold your hand through the process, and they're going to expect that you need to do revisions, even if the photos are good in your eye. If you're good, charge a lot. This will weed out the bad clients, will make you look more professional, and it will position you as the expert. If you're asking a client thousands for a project, they assume you know what you're doing, because why would someone charge so much if they didn't? For me, my basic package is $2,000 and it only goes up from there. As soon as a client signs on, you need to be involved. The client is paying a lot of money for you, so make them feel justified right away. You want the client to know that they made the right decision by deciding to work with you. This can be as simple as an email saying, "We're really excited to start this project together. Thanks for trusting me with your brand. I can't wait to see what we create together." And bam, right there you've shown that you care about this client. Make sure to send this email as soon as they sign your contract. This can even be a custom-built automated email that you have. In my first email to a new client, I'll let them know what the next steps are in the process. For me, that's the onboarding form. I highly recommend you utilize an onboarding form. This form will gather some relevant project information and make sure that you're both on the same page from the beginning. The form also makes the client perceive you as a professional, and it helps them justify working with you. Let's dive into my onboarding form real quick. All right, so now we're in my job form. This is what clients get as soon as they sign on to work with me. It's just a very quick onboarding form that says this will help us deliver the best assets possible. So if we start this, we've got some basic questions here like company name, first name, last name, phone number, and email address. Once they get past those questions, we have some very project specific questions. So what are you trying to accomplish with this project? It might be improve Amazon listing conversions. It could be update website photos, social media posts, just to get to know what the client is actually trying to do. Tone of brand, this one helps with your mood board and the creative direction of the shoot. So it could be a minimal brand, clean, professional, just some buzzwords that they're going to put in here. Next, we've got how many products do you need photos and videos of? So depending on how many SKUs they have, they can enter them here. So if it's a 10 photo package, maybe they want 5 photographed and they're going to want 2 of each, or maybe even some group shots back there. Must have shots. So if they have any photos that they have in mind that they really want, they'll list them here. This will help you when you're creating your shot list and ensure that you won't have to do any revisions if you miss any of these shots. So for example, they might want an orange background shot with water splashing, something specific. Again, they can input as many shots they want here, so it's up to them. This one is one of my favorite questions. It allows them to post other brands that they like, that they want to resemble, which gives you a lot of visual information for your mood board. So for this, companies, if they're a beverage company, they're going to probably list some of the top beverage companies in the game. If they're a coffee company, they might be listing coffee companies they like. So this is a great place for them to paste just some social media links for you to look at. Next, aspect ratio. This one's pretty straightforward. Do they need it vertical, horizontal, 4:5, 9:16 for Instagram stories? So they'll tell you what they need here. And finally, I always include this question. It's what mistakes have other photographers made when working with your brand? So here, this really shows that you care to deliver the best assets possible because you're asking what mistakes they've experienced in the past so that you can avoid these. So this form I created in Jotform. Jotform is a great software, super simple forms. I really like how they just queue one question at a time, which makes filling out the form a lot easier on the client's end. Here you can see the editor that I used. Very straightforward. On the left, you have whatever you want. You can input here. So if you want to add another section here, you just drag it from the left, type your question, favorite photos from my portfolio. They could do something like that. And once you get the questions in here, the form is live, and you can get a shareable link and share that with your client. So if you want to check out Jotform, it's down in the description below. If you need help getting a client, check out my free Creative Business Checklist down below. It's gotten over 1,100 downloads and people are getting clients from it and scaling their business. The mood board is the place where you can share what the project direction will be. Pull relevant examples from the onboarding form and make sure you're both on the same page going into the shoot. The mood board is also one of the bonuses I have in my offer. Not everyone offers a mood board, so this sets me apart from others. I also promise they'll receive a mood board within 24 hours of submitting an onboarding form, and I stick to that. I usually spend about an hour making this. It helps me with a creative direction, and it helps a client know that the project is going in the right direction before I start shooting. I use Notion for my mood boards. I use Notion for a lot of things, and I love it. I know there's probably some prettier software out there, but this works for me, so let's dive in. By the way, if you're getting any value at all, please drop a like below. So let's check out this mood board real quick. This was for one of my clients. This project is done. This was a very quick project, 10 photos, 1 video, 1 stop motion. And basically we first pulled together some inspo. So this was some links that they gave me and some links that I thought would be great for them. We then put together a shot list. So we were going to do some action photos, some lifestyle photos with hands, some harsh lighting with the powder that they sell, and then some colorful photos as well. This is the actual important part. It's the photo examples. So these are pulled from, again, both links that they gave me, and photos I think would look really great on their social media pages and go with the overall theme of the shoot. So we have a pretty wide variety of styles here, but it's still pretty consistent. Now these are both photos from my portfolio as well as photos from links that I pulled that I think would look great for this brand. So it's nothing super fancy here. This is just a Notion template, but they can start to see what the project direction is going to look like. There's a consistent style and they know exactly what to expect when working with me. So this is something that I share with them after they complete their onboarding form, and we're able to talk through this on the prep call, which I'm going to talk about in a second. The prep call happens after the client has had a chance to see the mood board. Personally, I'll try and book them for a call 2 days after they've submitted their onboarding form. This will give them a chance to review the mood board, compile a list of questions for you, and make sure that you're both ready for the call so that no one's time is wasted. I do all my prep calls through Zoom. It's great to put a face to a client, and it's really useful for sharing your screen when you need to go through relevant examples. The prep call is going to flow pretty naturally, but you need to be prepared. Remember, you are the expert here, so you are the one guiding the call. This is a crucial stage where the client will see how confident you are with the project. If you're confident, then the chances of them asking for revisions goes down. At the start of the call, you'll have your usual small talk. They'll probably say how excited they are to work with you. Next, I like to quickly go over the mood board. I'll walk through some of their answers from the onboarding form. I'll go through a rough shot list. I'll go through the photo examples I've included in the mood board. And if applicable, I'll pitch a couple of video ideas and see what they prefer to go with. After this, I'll see if they have any questions about the process and answer those. There's usually a few that come up, so just be ready to answer as best as you can. If they ask you something and you aren't sure what to say, just tell them that you need to look into it more, and you'll provide a more detailed answer via email after the call. Now is also a good time to ask any questions you might have for the client. If there's anything in their onboarding form that you're confused about, ask them. Asking questions is a good thing because you're learning exactly what you want out of this project. These calls usually last 15 to 30 minutes, and they shouldn't be intimidating. After all, the client has already agreed to work with you, so they trust you. After the photo shoot, I always provide the client with a set of photos to choose from. If they sign on for 10 product photos, I'll usually provide 15 to 20 for them to pick from. These aren't final edits either. This helps give them options so that you don't have to go back and reshoot photos. If you only give them 10 and they don't like a few, you might have to do a reshoot, or you can refuse a reshoot and you'll have an unhappy client. Providing extra photos here does take some more time during your initial shoot, but it saves you from having to reset your gear and deal with another shoot. Once they select the 10 photos, get them the final edits, and chances are you don't need to do any revisions. These 5 steps aren't hard, and they will save you so much time in the long run. Thank you for watching. I've got a video right here that I think you will love, and I will see you in the next one.